here we are. My name's David, and I'm with my son Stephen, and we're in Abidjan, West Africa, in the Ivory Coast, pretty close to the Gulf of Guinea, which is about 5 degrees north of the equator. So it's warm here pretty much all the time. We're in the dry season, so it only rains at night. In the rainy season, it rains all the time. Today, after our guide comes, Bakri Bamba, we're going to have breakfast, and then from there we're going to visit some of the churches and see the work that's going on here. People here are very nice, very friendly. Even though we come from America, that doesn't bother them at all. We greet them as friends. They're very relational here. And I would say if you have a chance to ever come here to the Ivory Coast, the Baptist Mission House is a very good place to stay. We're going to be here for a number of days, and we're going to be going out different places to see what's new in the mission work here in the Ivory Coast. Guard, he watches over the place, and when somebody wants to come in, they'll honk their horn, and he'll open up the gates and let the cars in. Everybody here is...
My dad is a legend. He's been to Abidjan probably about 5 times now. And what started it all was some folks asked our church if anyone would go with a few missionaries to this random dot on a map near the equator. And he didn't really know what it was or what it entailed, but he was like, sure, I'll go. And when he came back, he bought clothes, he got wallets, and he picked up some French, and he was really passionate about the place, and he really connected with the people. It genuinely made an impact on him, and he felt God drawing him back to the country time and time again. I think his first visit was in 2012 maybe, or 2014, something. It's been a while. This is most likely the last time he'll be visiting, just due to age and just, time passing. He's also walking around. This is him walking around the mission house. There's also a whole other family that lives close by where we stayed. They moved from Missouri or something, somewhere in the States in the Midwest, which is kind of nuts. It's one thing to visit for a week, quite another to straight up move here, take your family with you. The guy has 3 kids and a wife? Anyway, yeah, they had to learn the language, the culture, and just how to get around. It's kind of nuts, if you ask me. The city itself, the actual word, Abidjan, I was told literally just means woods or forest, on account of a lot of it was just very indigenous areas, not a whole lot going on. But when people started moving, things started happening pretty quickly, and infrastructure started sprouting out pretty quickly. In the past 2 years, we've seen roads and traffic lights and bypasses and all of that. And there's also shops in basically every corner of the city. There's no government assistance, which means there's no handouts, which means people have to think more entrepreneurially, as Americans would call it, and open up their own shops and stuff like that. We think of starting a business as a luxury, if you have some money lying around, you start a business. you open up an Etsy account. Here, they literally have to do it to live. Even with all the progress, just like America, we have some roads that are still kind of not exactly the most ideal. Places where we would love to have like a 4-wheel drive truck. And I'm glad that we didn't get stuck anywhere.
Something. Yeah. Okay.
He was mad. The car for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to do something.
Ouais, tu sens pour enlever quelques cailloux. Hein.
Non, ça va. Ça va. Il faut couper pour ne pas tomber dans la boule. Parce qu'il y a une boule.
We eventually found a place to park near an elementary school, and also a bus or a van was just getting out of a little jam on the road, as you can see here.
On arrive. Attendez. Hein? Non, pas de marche arrière. Non, ça va aller.
My dad had quite a massive role in building the Indultrate Church, this area here. And the folks that live around these parts all benefited from electricity that was brought down from the hill because of all the shops and the neighboring houses. The people generally don't have much transportation to speak of, so a church close by like this is quite a blessing, I tell you. The trip consisted mostly of visiting pastors and hearing them out, seeing what they needed and how they could be prayed for. One church needed a building because of an unfair landlord and noisy neighbors. Another had their PA stolen. One has a building but needs basic stuff like fans, lights, and more chairs.
Primary school, primary school. So we built something here, but a wind blew and
Yeah.
then we have it.
Yes.
So here we have the restroom.
Yeah. The back country is where we went to next. And this is this particular person's land. One thing you will notice is that until something is built, like brick and mortar wise, these farmers will go in and plant what they need to and grow things. That's why we see fields around where the little circuit where we walked out to check it out. They also had chickens too, which I found quite interesting. Wasn't expecting that. And there's also plantains all over. They grow pretty much everywhere. I saw people just like walking around with baskets full of them. It's like evergreen trees or anything else here. It just grows.
Parfait, ils disent que venez gérer. Ils vendent pour la construction, c'est le meilleur sable d'ailleurs. Vendent pour la construction.
Ah, le limon dans la mer, très bon. Ah, le limon, très bon. Tu dis, il n'y a pas tout.
Même la mer, même.
Hey, les Chinois, vraiment. Hey,
They also have a zoo. It's kind of their big thing here. And the really big thing is the elephant. It's said that the last living elephant is here in Côte d'Ivoire. A long time ago, the natives hunted down the elephants for their tusks. Côte d'Ivoire in English means Ivory Coast. So the natives were like, yes, please, I am naming the entire country out of the one thing I cannot get enough of. And I think they were like selling it or something, like turning it into art or giving it to neighboring countries or something like that. There's this small store in a suburb called Kava. I bought a painting, some keychains, jewelry. I think Mason bought like a toy car or something, but like a car made of like cans and stuff, so it's not really like an actual car. Dad bought like 10 wallets and made this guy very, very happy. I do not have footage of that though. Just trust me. He was pretty good. I'm with him. We found the family that gave fabric to Mason last time he was there. My mom made a shirt out of it, and here's some pictures of that.
Pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's going left, that's going great. I think you remember Mustafa.
There's also a side project that Bakri is involved in. He's partnering with some folks in the States to provide locals with devices that have the Bible in their native language. There's many languages that are only understood by certain tribes around the country, and this is a way to reach them. How it works is it's solar powered, and there's a little SD card that goes into somewhere, and he comes with little headphones, and some of it is only like New Testament stuff. In fact, I think most of it is like New Testament, but it's good. It's very helpful. Something surprising to me was that they had a full-on actual shopping center here that looked very much similar to what we're familiar with here in America, including this Burger King we stopped at each morning. They also have a KFC somewhere around here. And what's interesting is that we walked in through the drive-through at maybe 2 or 3 in the morning when our plane landed and we finally got things settled. Wouldn't be able to do that in America or in Tennessee. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Quite an adventure. I'm glad I had that experience. I would encourage anyone to do that, to fly over there and see the people and see the need and to help out where you can.